Creepy things your body does after you die. You're not even safe from yourself. Let's get right into it. Number 1, the death twitch party. So, you're dead. Officially. Flatline, lights out, no more you. But your body? Yeah, it didn't get the memo yet. Right after death, your muscles go out with a bang. Literally. Your body can, and often does, twitch, jerk, or even move in ways that would freak out anyone nearby. Nurses and morticians report seeing fingers flex, feet shift, even full-on torso spasms in the recently deceased. It's not supernatural, it's biochemistry. Here's the science. When you die, your cells don't instantly shut down. They run on stored energy for a little while. As calcium floods the muscle cells and ATP, that's the body's little energy packets, drops, muscles contract randomly. The result? A freshly dead body that moves just enough to ruin someone's week. There have even been reports of corpses sitting up slightly due to spinal nerve reflexes. Nothing says haunting memory like watching grandma pop up on the embalming table for one last scare. Basically, your meat suit throws one final rave before shutting down the club. Number 2, your body starts digesting itself. Imagine your digestive system throwing a party in your honor, but instead of cake, it's just your own organs. When you die, your immune system goes offline, which is unfortunate because the bacteria in your gut are very much alive and suddenly have no rules. These microbes, normally chill roommates, turn into demolition crews. They start breaking down the lining of your intestines and then move on to bigger, tastier things, like your liver, your brain, your eyeballs. Yum. This whole process is called autolysis, or self-digestion. Enzymes that were once used to help break down your lunch now turn on you like hungry gremlins. Your own cells break themselves apart from the inside, and with no blood flow to carry away waste, everything starts to bubble. Literally, gas builds up, your stomach bloats, sometimes to cartoonish levels. And yes, bodies have been known to burst. So yeah, after death, your body becomes its own all-you-can-eat buffet. Bon appetit. Number 3, your hair and nails don't actually grow. You've probably heard that creepy little myth. After you die, your hair and nails keep growing. Sounds spooky, right? Zombie glam squad, anyone? Well, here's the truth. They don't grow. Your skin shrinks. After death, your body dehydrates like it's in a sauna from hell. As the moisture leaves your skin, it contracts, pulling away from nail beds and hair follicles. This shrinkage makes it look like your nails are growing longer, or that you've suddenly sprouted a 5 o'clock shadow worthy of a lumberjack. But in reality, you're just drying out, like old fruit. So that post-mortem stubble? Not new, just newly revealed. Your corpse isn't hitting puberty again, it's just being weirdly dramatic about dying. Number 4, the purge. Okay, not that purge, but yes, it's gross. After death, your body's sphincters, those charming little muscle gates that normally keep things in their proper place, relax completely. And that means fluids. All of them. Urine, feces, whatever was in your stomach, it can all leak out. Especially if you died suddenly or with a full digestive tract. It's why morticians and paramedics know to always roll a body carefully. You never know what's about to make an exit. And yes, sometimes it happens hours later, after everything seems settled. So if you're ever at an open casket and suddenly catch a whiff of something wrong, well, now you know. Death is messy, literally. Number 5, the moaning dead. Ever wonder why horror movies love that guttural, croaky groan from the dead? Well, it's not entirely fiction. Turns out, dead bodies can make noise. Yeah, not because they're trying to communicate from beyond, but because of escaping gas. Remember how your body bloats after death from all that bacterial party time in your gut? That gas has to go somewhere. And sometimes, as it pushes through your vocal cords, it produces a sound. Imagine a half-deflated balloon being squeezed through a haunted kazoo. That's basically it. It can be a sigh, a grunt, even what sounds like a low moan. Combine that with post-mortem twitches, and congratulations, you've got yourself a full-on horror show. Nurses have reported hearing the recently deceased exhale one last time, hours after they've died. If that doesn't ruin your night shift, nothing will. So no, it's not a ghost. It's just your internal plumbing doing its best horror movie impression. Number 6, the corpse wax situation. We need to talk about adipose here. No, that's not a Game of Thrones dragon, it's what happens when your body turns into soap. Yes, soap. In moist, airless environments like if you're buried in a sealed coffin or left in a damp basement. Not judging, just saying. Your fat tissue can undergo a transformation. Bacteria, moisture, and lack of oxygen combine to create a waxy, soap-like substance that replaces your soft tissues. It's called adipocere, and it preserves you like a cursed Yankee candle. Sometimes entire bodies are found looking weirdly smooth and white, like a wax figure that just gave up. And the best part? This wax can keep your body preserved for decades. There are corpses that died in the 1800s, still hanging around in a soapified state. You might not smell great, but you'll be unnervingly intact. Number 7, you can give birth after death. Okay, deep breath, because this one is truly nightmare fuel. There's a rare phenomenon known as coffin birth. It happens when a pregnant body after death expels the fetus through post-mortem gas pressure. Basically, the same gas buildup that bloats your gut can force the uterus to contract, pushing the fetus out through the birth canal. It's horrifying. It's tragic. And it's one of those things that sounds made up until you realize it's documented in forensic pathology. Of course, this doesn't mean the baby is alive. It's just another brutal reminder that decomposition plays by its own rules. Your body has officially entered chaotic energy mode, and nothing is off limits. It's rare, but when it happens, it sticks with you forever. You're welcome for the new intrusive thought. Number 8, skin slippage. Yes, that's a thing. Ever taken off a tight glove and had it peel inside out? Now imagine your skin doing that to itself. Skin slippage is what happens during the early stages of decomposition when the outer layers of skin detach from the underlying tissue. If someone touches the body or even moves it slightly, the skin can literally peel off like an old sticker. This makes handling a corpse pretty tricky. Medical examiners often wear double gloves and use extreme caution because one wrong move and whoops, there goes an entire patch of arm skin. In some cases, large sheets of skin, complete with fingernails, just slide off. Think biological shrink wrap gone rogue. It's gross, it's creepy, it's part of the process. Basically, your body becomes the world's worst version of Jenga. Number 9, your eyes can turn red like demon red. So your soul's gone, but your eyeballs, they're still front and center, putting on a show. After death, blood starts to settle in your body thanks to gravity. This is called livor mortis, and it's responsible for those eerie purple-red blotches that show up on skin. But guess where else blood can pool? That's right, your eyes. In some cases, the capillaries in your sclera, the whites of your eyes, rupture due to pressure changes or post-mortem bloating. The result? Your eyes look bloodshot or even completely red like you just returned from a demonic bender. And if the body was left face down, the fluid pressure can cause your eyes to bulge slightly. Combine that with a bloated tongue protruding from the mouth and you've officially created nightmare fuel. Morticians sometimes have to drain fluid or inject filler to fix this. Otherwise, the funeral turns into something straight out of a horror film. Moral of the story? Even your eyeballs are committed to drama after. Number 10. Your brain turns into soap or mush, depending on the weather. Your brain, the squishy control center that once knew your Netflix password, is one of the first organs to go full meltdown mode. Within hours of death, it starts breaking down. In hot, humid environments, It liquefies into a gray, soup-like sludge. Lovely. But in cold, damp conditions, it can actually solidify into a waxy mass. Scientists have discovered entire brains preserved in peat bogs, perfectly intact but soapified. So yes, your personality center is either turning into mush or morphing into artisanal corpse soap. No in between. Also, this is why you'll never hear a ghost say anything intelligent. They've lost their Wi-Fi and their gray matter. Number 11. You might move days later. And just when you think it's over, your body pulls one last encore. In very rare cases, long after death, dried out tendons and ligaments shrink in response to temperature and moisture changes. This can cause the limbs to move, flex, or even jerk slightly. Archaeologists have reported ancient skeletons changing position inside tombs. Morticians have watched limbs readjust hours after prep. And yes, some poor souls have walked into a morgue only to see a corpse raise an arm or twist its neck. Is it possession? Number. It's just physics having a little fun at your expense. So if you're ever in a room with a corpse and it twitches, that's not a haunting. That's decomposition with flair. Number 12. Bodies can mummify without permission. You don't have to be in ancient Egypt to become a mummy. If your body happens to die in a hot, dry place like an attic or a locked car in the summer, you can dry out before you even start to rot. This is called mummification. And yes, it still happens today. Your skin shrivels, your flesh dehydrates, your body becomes leathery, stiff, and eerily preserved. Think beef jerky with a tragic backstory. Sometimes, people aren't found for weeks or months, especially in isolated environments. When they are, they're dry, light, and preserved enough to skip full decomposition, which is great for science, less great for whoever finds them. So even in death, your body's like, I choose vintage. Number 13, the sound of popping corpses. Let's talk about post-mortem bloating again because it gets worse. As your body fills with gas from all that bacterial mayhem inside, pressure builds up like an overinflated balloon. And when it can't escape quickly enough, well, it escapes loudly. Bodies have been known to pop, snap, or crack audibly during decomposition. Sometimes it's just skin stretching or separating. Other times it's joints dislocating, ribs cracking, or internal gases forcing their way out through any available exit. In mass graves or sealed spaces, these sounds can echo. Imagine walking into a silent room full of bodies and hearing faint popping noises from every corner. It's not just creepy, it's straight-up cinematic terror. Investigators and forensic teams get used to it. Eventually. But the first time? Yeah. You remember it forever. So if you're ever in a horror film and hear popping behind you, don't look. It's never balloons. Number 14. Bugs throw a feast in your honor. You probably knew this one was coming. Insects. Flea specifically, blowflies can detect a corpse from up to a mile away. Within minutes of death, if you're exposed to open air, they're arriving like it's a red carpet premiere. And they don't come alone. They lay eggs, which turn into maggots, which begin feeding on the softest, most accessible tissue, eyes, mouth, nose, and, well, everywhere else shortly after. But here's the worst part. They're organized. Maggots arrive in waves, in shifts, and clean you out with terrifying efficiency. Entomologists can actually estimate time of death based on the life cycle stage of the bugs eating you. Because that's a thing humans had to learn professionally. So while your friends mourn you and your body turns to soap, the bugs are having Thanksgiving. You're not just dead, you're on the menu. Number 15. Sometimes you just don't rot. Plot twist. Not everyone decomposes the way they're supposed to. There are documented cases, rare, but real, of bodies resisting decomposition for decades. It might be due to low oxygen, strange environmental chemistry, weird health conditions before death, or just plain luck. The Catholic Church has a term for it: incorruptible bodies. These are people who die and remain eerily preserved with no embalming or artificial methods. Some even smell sweet, which has definitely sent people into miracle mode. Spoiler, it's not always divine. Sometimes it's just science being weird. One famous case: a nun named Bernadette Soubirieux, who died in 1879 and was found perfectly preserved 30 years later. She's still on display, not rotting, just there. And while scientists argue over causes, the takeaway is this: sometimes, even in death, your body refuses to cooperate. Like a diva on its final tour. That's all for today. I'll be making more videos like this, busting myths, breaking brains, and ruining dinner conversations. So hit that subscribe button. Unless you believe doing so at night makes you gain weight. In that case, wait until sunrise. I'll still be here, like a soapified corpse.